Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about an interesting subject for debate. Is Proton right to be hating on Google? That's what we're going to be discussing in today's video, but first a word from one of my favorite affiliates. Are you guys ever worried about getting doxxed? I know I am, and that's why I use a service like Incognito to make sure no one could find my IRL information if they find my name. A service like Incognito goes to all the available data brokers out there like white pages and these different websites. It will tell these websites to remove your information and it saves you tons of time. Use my link in the description down below to get 50% off Incognito as you see here on this website to get this deal. This is my top rated data broker removal tool. It's around half the price of competing services like Delete Me, and it has a better interface to boot. So thanks for checking out this one, and let's get back to the video. Alright guys, so I kind of was thinking about this for a while now based on Proton and how it talks about Google on Twitter. Now yesterday I specifically got the idea for this video because Proton has been complaining about how Google is seemingly suppressing them in search results. As you can see here, they say this: being suppressed in Google search is often fatal, and Proton experienced a serious incident in 2015. Since then it was resolved and no, we did not sue Google. Even today, strange behaviors can be seen in Google searches for Proton services. Google downranking is never as simple as search for Proton Mail is not there. It's rather more subtle and deadly, impacting people who don't already know you, cutting off growth that way. In example, if you search password manager, our password manager with over 1 million users just doesn't exist according to Google. In our biggest market, it is currently ranked page 86. The top ranked result is Google's own password manager. Google is aware of this issue but has not responded. So I do want to talk about this in 1 second, but I do kind of want to go to Microsoft Edge, load a fresh page of Google, and kind of look and see if what they're saying is true. So we're going to look up password manager right here, see what comes up. So obviously Google password manager, LastPass. So I don't think Google has any stake in LastPass. Wired is obviously an article listing out password managers. Let's just see curiosity. What is the top result? So Bitwarden, 1Password, no mention of Proton Pass here, which means that maybe some people don't like Proton Pass as much as some of the other options. You can see NordPass here. So it's only the 4th result if you don't count this article about password managers. It is the 3rd result. It is kind of interesting. I would give Proton credit for calling out that Google's own password manager is listed here. That's definitely kind of like they could have promoted it to be there on purpose. So they do have a point there. That said, if we look up something like Proton Pass, it is there. It doesn't seem like they're hiding this or anything like that. Just password manager itself, Nord does have pretty high placement here. So I don't know if there's a 100% argument to what they're saying. If you look up Proton Pass, you are going to see it. But for the specific term, password manager, maybe Proton just doesn't have that specific keyword. Maybe they're not popular enough. I kind of want to do some research into that as well. Let's go ahead and look up Google search trends to see, if Proton is really that popular. Maybe that will kind of give us some indication there. So let's look up Proton Pass. That's probably what people would look up, I would assume. I'm assuming that's what people would look up. But yeah, let's go ahead and look up, past 5 years for this data. And we do see some data here. So it does have some searches. But let's look at something like NordPass. So my theory here is if NordPass is, let's say more popular, it would make sense that it has more ranking in Google. So let's see here, NordPass. So it is more popular, quite a bit more. So around 3 times as popular according to search results. So it does kind of make sense that, when you look at that password manager, the first results, you don't see it necessarily there. But NordPass being much more popular, it is higher towards the top. Let's go ahead and look at another example. Let's go ahead with Proton's theory. Let's look up Google password manager. I'm assuming that might be like the term. Let's see how popular that is. So, wow. as you can see, just the term Google Password Manager is way more popular than something like Proton. So is Proton right? Is Google purposely deranking them? Well, I don't know. It looks like a lot more people are searching specifically for Google's Password Manager by around 30 to 35 times results. So in my research here in this video, just a small amount of research, I'm not sure that Google is really demoting them necessarily. It just seems like so much more people are searching for that. I think in a lot of ways, Proton is underestimating how much bigger Google is than Proton is. For example, let's look up Proton Drive and we'll compare it to Google Drive. We'll just kind of use that as a metric again. So let's look up Google Drive and then we'll look up Proton Drive and then we'll see the interest here. So as you can see here, once again, Proton Drive, people are not really searching for it at all. And Google Drive is just way more popular. It's kind of interesting to see how Google Drive is actually becoming less searched overall. Just maybe people are using other options, or maybe they already know about it. That could also be it. But again, Google just seems so much more massive. Could that be the reason why they're ahead in the search results? Well, yeah, definitely that could be it. So I'm not quite 100% sure if Proton really has much of an argument here in terms of, this thread here. Additionally, I did kind of want to point out one problem I have with Proton is that in some ways they're kind of biting the hand that feeds them. They're attacking Google, saying, hey, you're not promoting us enough in your search engine. And if you look at Proton's Twitter feed, I would say like a lot of their posts are using Google and saying, hey, Google sucks, use us instead. Look at this, July 16th. It's talking about Google. It uses them in memes all the time. It's always talking about how Google kind of sucks. Let's see, anything else? But yeah, they're always kind of shit talking Google and stuff like that. Here we go, July 19th. And just recently even as well. It's kind of confusing because they have different Proton accounts, but I mean, they're talking about it here as well. If you go on it and you could see, yep, here we go, just 4 hours ago talking about it. Well, that's kind of the same thread. But point being is they're always talking about, here we go here. They're always talking about how Google sucks so much. At the same time today, they're talking about how they're mad at Google for not promoting them. It just seems kind of hypocritical to me. Why doesn't Proton make their own search engine if it's so easy? That's another point you could be thinking about. They certainly don't have one. Brave has one. DuckDuckGo has one. A lot of these other search engines are just kind of like front-end systems to kind of use Google search though. It's pretty hard to make a search engine and get it to be good, especially from scratch. So that's another thing to think about. So guys, what do you think of this video? Do you think Proton is right to criticize Google for what it's doing? Is it right in assuming that Google is bearing the results? Or is Proton just not as popular as it thinks and these other services are more popular? Something like NordPass seems to be more popular, is ranked higher, does make sense. Google is much more popular than Proton, so it ranks higher. Theoretically, it does make sense. Maybe it's not true that they are bearing their results like Proton is kind of suggesting. Let me know down in the comments down below if you found this video interesting and what your opinion is, and I'll see you again very soon.